This is it. Hey YouTube, this is Melantart VA,
And this is Sakia Amano.
and we finally reached the reason I wanted to do this retrospective to begin with. It's time to talk about Sonic Forces. Which really, this is a game, it's a guilty pleasure for me.
Yeah, I feel like this game gets a little more hate than it really deserves. It's like, no, the game wasn't good, but it wasn't the crime against humanity a lot of the fan base makes it out to be.
Oh yeah, like, this wasn't as atrocious as, say, Lost World was.
Or 06.
Oh yeah.
Because at least, unlike those, Forces is actually playable.
Also, before we actually begin with like the multimedia plot, let's address Infinite, the new villain. Honestly, Infinite needs to come back. It feels like his story is not done.
Yeah, and it's like, I feel like he was kind of a lot of missed potential.
Oh yeah, like Garulas, a 64 guys made an amazing video like fixing like everything involving Infinite's character. Absolutely go check out that guy's Sonic Forces rewrite series. It's really good.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, speaking of the plot, it acts weirdly. It doesn't even begin with the episode Shadow DLC. It begins with these 4 digital comics IDW released online, which is weird.
And let's hope you read those, because the game just automatically assumes you read them.
Yeah, speaking of which, let's actually go through them. First one we'll talk about is the one with the Chaotix and an avatar which ironically Forces actually lets you recreate if you really want to.
Oh yeah.
And this one's not that great. It's really just like, oh boo-hoo, I'm a failure. I want to help, but I don't want to get hurt. And the guy just fires a cannon. It's really nothing special.
Yeah, and it's like he spends about a good 3/4 of the comic just feeling sorry for himself.
Next one is actually a Silver and Knuckles comic, which I appreciate because, like, those two, I don't think we've ever seen them interact before this.
No.
Also, we'll get to how Silver was actually handled in this game a bit later, but, like, we essentially see, like, a Chaos Zero return, and so they ultimately defeated Eggman's got the Phantom Ruby, and effectively decides, fuck it, I don't need a Master Emerald, this thing's all I need. Dude, do you not remember Sonic 3?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, how much you actually managed to achieve with the Master Emerald?
Exactly. So, like, this comic, it's worth checking out just for the interactions between Silver and Knuckles, I think.
Going a little off on a little tangent, but it's like, with the Master Emerald, even showing that, like, Metal Sonic is powered by the Master Emerald.
Okay, next one is actually the comic before episode Shadow, which effectively shows, like, Omega attacking Eggman's base, he's overwhelmed, and then Shadow takes off for the same base, which leads to episode Shadow, which we will talk about in a minute. And the final comic is, honestly, it has a good setup, but it's probably the weakest in execution. It ultimately explains why Infinite started working for Eggman. Sakia, would you care to explain, since we ship your OC with him?
Essentially speaking, Zero, as we call him, because he's nameless aside from the name Infinite, Zero essentially decides that he just wants to see the world burn.
Exactly. The guy's bored. He wants the world to burn. That's it.
And it's like, really, Zero?
Okay, then. And that's the comics. Now let's talk about episode Shadow, which to me is probably the best part. Like, Shadow's like back to the way he was written during 06. Pontac, Graph, were you guys finally paying attention to continuity?
Right?
And it's actually during this, which by the way has some really good remix Shadow music, but it's during this that we see why Infinite decides to take the Phantom Ruby, and oh my god, it's still so stupid. It's a meme for a reason.
Yeah.
Essentially, Shadow ultimately kicks the guy in the head, and he throws a temper tantrum. That's it.
Pretty much. And it's like, again, this is why I see Zero has a bunch of wasted potential, and he was very poorly handled.
Oh yeah, plus like that trailer, that vocal theme, it feels like there was so much more to him. But no, he's a mercenary who got beat up and threw a tantrum.
Yeah, he threw a tantrum. He threw a tantrum like a 5-year-old who his parents wouldn't buy the toy he wanted.
And weirdly, episode Shadow begins with how the main game actually starts with, which now we can finally get into. Okay, so the game begins with Green Hill Zone for the umpteenth time, and we get a really cringy joke calling back to Sonic Adventure about Green Hill becoming more like Sand Hill, which if you played Sonic Adventure, you would get that reference.
Yeah, essentially, the whole thing with Green Hill is essentially that the city is under attack, and Sonic is on his way to the city to help Tails and the Resistance.
Actually, the Resistance wasn't built yet, but we'll get to that.
Anyway, to help with the defense of the city, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. And like when Sonic gets there, he finds Shadow, Chaos Zero, Metal Sonic, Zerhawk, and somebody new to fight, Infinite. And of course, the entire cutscene is probably the best animated one in the game, purely because the villains play hacky sack with Sonic.
Yeah, he gets his ass handed to him on a silver platter.
And Tails does nothing. And don't worry, we will get to Tails.
Yeah, but it's like, it really shows the deterioration of Tails' character. Though we'll also get to the cutscene that kind of finalizes that deterioration.
Oh yeah, like weirdly, after Sonic's defeat, we get what I think is possibly an Adobe Premiere text box. Like, why couldn't there be like a quick montage to show Eggman taking over the world? That's probably the one thing that bothers me is the cut corners.
Yeah, it's like, the game overall, while it's not horrible, it feels very hollow.
Sakuya, you want to actually hear something kind of ironic?
The
advertising said that Sonic Team worked on this. That's not true.
Big Red Button, you said, worked on it, right?
Yes, the guys who made Sonic Boom, Rise of Lyric, made this. And while granted...
That explains... That explains why it felt like it had... Sorry.
It's okay, you finish.
That explains why it felt like it had some aspects of Rise of Lyric.
And also, like, while Forces is an improvement, Sega could be sued for false advertising.
I'm surprised no one did in these 3 years since it's been out.
Yeah, but like, anyway, the Resistance has been built over the course of the 6 months Eggman's like taken over, and there's actually 2 voice actors we gotta talk about. One being Matthew Mercer, he's finally voicing Espio, and oh my god, he sounds so much better than Troy Baker.
Oh yeah, like he actually understands the character.
Exactly, and finally, let's talk about Quentin Flynn as Silver.
I'm an optimist, but I'm also a realist.
That line doesn't make sense, but let's not talk about that.
That's a contradiction because of the fact that an optimist is somebody who looks at the bright side of things, while a realist is one who sees things as they are. So how can you be both at the same time?
Well, then again, Silver's from like a shitty future, so if you think about it, it could be that he's like always hopeful, but at the same time, he knows that there are some things he cannot do.
But again, optimism is being confident that the best is going to happen. So, Anyway, on to...
Quentin, we were actually talking about the voice actor.
Sorry.
Quentin's honestly really good here. Like, he really stepped up as Silver, but sadly, this would ultimately be Quentin's final game as Silver before a certain
Bryce Papenbrook took over.
Yeah, sadly, because of like scheduling conflicts and controversy involving a certain voice actor. Which, by the way, we didn't talk about. Let's talk about really quickly Vic
Vic
Mignogna
Mignogna.
as Omega. The base game, dude got robbed. He only got one line in the main game.
And it wasn't even that good of a line. Just.
Oh yeah, like really? Episode Shadow, Vic was amazing, fucking unrecognizable. I didn't even realize that was Vic until the credits, and then I looked it up. Like, that's amazing. Usually Vic is very recognizable.
Yeah, as like like Edward Elric,
Tamaki
Crow and Ruby. Like I said, Crow and Ruby.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, like after this cutscene, which by the way, Cindy finally improved on the Amy voice, but we already talked about Cindy. We finally get to the big selling point of the game, the avatar creation. Sega, thank you for finally canonizing the OC.
Though there is one thing, though I think I might save that for later because it's a rant about after another point in the plot.
Yeah, let's.
But yeah, because again, there was one problem I had with the OC.
Oh yeah, like later we'll talk about that, and like you'll actually let me know when we get to that point, right? Because I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like though it's pretty close to where my ranting point about it is.
Okay. Anyway, like.
Anyway, Amy types up the credentials of
Avatar.
not an avatar, but it's someone who survived the attack on the city, who turns out to be your avatar. And essentially, when she calls up your profile on the computer, that basically is where you create your avatar.
Oh yeah,
where you have 6 different species with
for, like,
different.
The first character creation for an official Sonic game, it wasn't too bad, but it could have been better.
Yeah, it was kind of hollow, but it had some cool ideas. Especially with the fact that like you had, I think, 6 or 7 different species,
7.
and each species 7, and each species had a unique racial ability.
Oh yeah, like a special perk.
Yeah, like wolves could draw rings near them. Cats could hold on to rings when they got hurt.
Birds could double jump, and
I think one race could keep like at least one ring when they died.
Yeah, but like anyway, after making the avatar, Knuckles comes in and I'm sorry, why is Knuckles a war general? This is not his character. Granted, Travis does it well since he was the voice of like a friggin' Roy Mustang in Full Metal Alchemist, but this does not fit Knuckles.
But to be honest, I think Vector would have been a better war general.
Or Espio. One of them.
Yeah, because like Vector, I think because he's a leader of the Chaotic, so he'd kind of know a little bit of leadership. Or Espio just because he has a tactical mindset.
Oh yeah, but like Knuckles, do we need to mention Operation Big Wave, which, by the way, stupidest operation names ever, but we will get
Yes.
Also, like, afterwards, we actually run into a bit of a translation error. Like, sadly, it's time to address the torture. It doesn't exist.
Well, the torture.
In massive air quotes?
Yep. Well, why do you think I paused when I said torture?
Fair enough. Anyway, like, actually, fuck, I can't talk. The, like, original Japanese version, Sonic was simply captured for 6 months. In the US version, he's apparently been tortured, and we don't see it.
Though later on, he does make a joke about that.
No, actually, he doesn't, and we had a perfect joke for it. He doesn't make a joke, and we had one.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. There is no joke. And
the one says, what was it, not being allowed to run for 6 months, that's torture?
That's not in the game at all. I came up with that with Matt in chat.
Anyway.
Yeah, like, we'll get to Sonic in a minute. Okay, oh yeah, it's time to talk about the deterioration of Tails. Okay, first of all, Tails, you fought Chaos 4. Why are you terrified of Chaos Zero? That is inconsistent, and I hate it.
Yes, and it's like, why are you so reliant on Sonic to save you from Chaos Zero?
Again, Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2. It's like all of Tails' development, even the development from Sonic Lost World, as much as I hate
Went
that game,
down the drain.
Tails' development was amazing there. It's all gone.
It just went all down the drain in one game.
And then we get the return of Classic Sonic, and it's time to address the plot hole that is the retconning of Classic Sonic's backstory.
Yeah.
Sakuya, would you care to?
Essentially speaking, it was kind of implied that
Back in
Generations that Classic Sonic was essentially just a younger Sonic.
And we already talked about how the age thing makes that not make sense.
And, well, Forces completely throws it out the window and says it's Sonic from another dimension.
Yeah. Which, with like all the memory complaints, I kind of get it, but at the same time, they don't give an in-universe explanation for this sudden change.
Yeah, it's like, that would have been appreciated at the very least.
Oh yeah, like, they simply treat it like, oh no, he was always from another dimension, from the past? No, you're insane. We're insane, again, we played those games.
Yeah, and again, even though Generations implied it was a past Sonic.
Anyway, let's continue. Classic Sonic sucks in this game.
Yes, he feels shoehorned into the plot completely, and his gameplay is just kind of slippery.
Oh yeah, like this was obviously not the same team who made Sonic Generations, because those people knew how to program Classic Sonic in a 3D game.
This Classic Sonic section just felt very awkward, and again, he was kind of just shoehorned into the plot.
And then we get to our first boss fight, and I don't know why this guy gets a boss fight, and yet half the other minions don't. Which, oh yeah, that cutscene. With like a classic Sonic's introduction, Chaos Zero's gone after that. We don't see him again.
Yeah, and pretty much Classic Sonic just flattens them with a single bounce off of them.
Exactly. So it's like, wait a minute, what was the point of having Chaos Zero here? It feels like there was a boss fight planned for him.
Yeah. It felt like there was maybe some kind of content fight down the road.
But sadly, we'll never get it. Anyway, like, oh god, Sakuya, I just remembered this terrible joke for why Zavok is on this giant buzz bomber.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, like, looks like the battlefield covered in hexagons, the lost hex. Yeah,
I get it.
That's not funny.
Yeah, basically a callback to
that
Lost
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, Pontac, Graph, that's not funny. That's the opposite of funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, like, after that boss fight, Sonic gets another solo level, and it's actually kind of a fun one, if not for some of the bullshit with dashing, where you can accidentally dash yourself into a bottomless pit.
Yeah.
And believe me, I've done that a few times. And also, the time limit challenge on this level is bullshit.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about the missions in a bit, right?
And also, on the next level, where we see Sonic and the Avatar together, here is where my complaint with the Avatar comes in.
Floor's yours, go ahead.
It's the fact that after Sonic is rescued, the Avatar goes from pretty much the secondary protagonist to Tails.
Yeah, that is a problem.
They throw the Avatar, something that was put at the forefront of the game's features. The Avatar is thrown onto the back burner for the sake of having Sonic as the protagonist.
Oh yeah, like I've actually I seen like a rewrites where like Sonic's essentially gone for most of the game, and it's mainly the Avatar and Classic Sonic doing most of it.
I mean, it's like, to be honest, I would have preferred that. Because again, the protagonist, again, the Avatar is thrown on the back burner the second Sonic gets rescued, pretty much.
Oh yeah, like for me, like maybe not like the entire game. Maybe for like half the game, have like Sonic missing and then they find him, but like not the entire game. That would be a bit much.
Or at least have Sonic, or at least have Sonic resting for about half the game, and kind of getting himself mentally prepped to get back into the fight.
Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, like develop the Avatar because like.
There is.
Hang on a second. Going back to like Infinite, the Infinite trailer made it seem like the Avatar and Infinite had some previous connection, and it goes nowhere.
And speaking of Avatar, I did hear an interesting theory about the Avatar.
What's that?
Well, you know how like the vocal tracks only play while you're playing as the Avatar, right?
Yes, which by the way, most of those are amazing.
I actually heard a theory that the vocal tracks are actually the Avatar speaking through the songs.
Oh my god, I can totally imagine that. That makes so much sense.
Because the idea is that the song is reflecting the Avatar's thoughts as they're traversing the stage.
Oh yeah, like seriously, that makes so much sense. But let's get back on track, shall we?
Anyway, I just figured I'd point out that little theory I heard, and it does make a lot of sense.
Yes, it does. Okay, so like, all of a sudden these Phantom Ruby prototypes are brought into the plot, and it's like, aside from one thing near the end of the game, it's like these so-called prototypes, they don't matter in the long run, aside from one plot point later.
Yeah.
Like, this game, there's like so many plot points that it feels like, again, corners had to be cut. Like, it's still a good game, but it really feels like the story is incomplete.
Yeah, again, that's why I say the game feels kind of hollow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so like, we probably get, with Classic Sonic, we get what I would honestly consider probably the easiest encounter with the Egg Dragoon ever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
and
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I was saying like, and my other issue as a next to last stage, we will discuss later on, we'll tell, the difficulty in this game feels kind of inconsistent.
Oh yeah, like sometimes it's easy as balls, another time it's suddenly ball-bustingly difficult. I'm sorry for those metaphors, it was the best thing I could think of.
Anyway, we have Classic Sonic fighting the Egg Dragoon in a disappointingly easy boss fight.
And then, weirdly, after the fight, Eggman kind of references Sonic Heroes in probably the most awkward way possible, saying like the Resistance only has 3 days, and it's like, didn't we already do this?
Yeah.
And weird. Oh yeah, the next level is probably my second least favorite Avatar level, Aqua Road.
That level, it wasn't hard, it was just really annoying.
Oh yeah, plus like especially the physics when you're on the water. It's like, wait a minute, water? These physics do not work like this.
No.
Anyway, after that, oh, wait a second, we forgot about the first Infinite fight. Let's back up a minute.
Yeah, and then the stage before that with Mystic Jungle.
Yeah, like, Mystic Jungle, the level's okay. I just wish, like, the tube running... It's like, it's weird, like, if you don't, like, turn while boosting, you're gonna go, like, running off the edge. And that's stupid. Would you agree that is stupid?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and after that, we get Silver.
A boss at the first boss. But yeah.
Actually, like the cutscene's like Silver versus Infinite, and really,
Oh, yeah.
I would like to see a fully animated version of them fighting. I'd like to see what they could do against each other.
Yeah, exactly. So that would make a fun battle.
And also, on the subject of, let's actually talk about Infinite's vocal performance. It's Liam O'Brien again, the voice of Zaz in Sonic Lost World.
Though to be honest, Liam O'Brien does a much better job in this game.
Oh yeah, like Liam O'Brien as like Infinite, I swear he's like channeling the old Gaara from Naruto days for this role.
Actually, he kind of reminds me of Lazard Valeth from Valkyrie Profile, actually, as Infinite.
Okay, I know nothing about that, so I'm just going to say yes. Okay, let's continue. Weirdly, this fight, it actually depends on like how long you intentionally make it go, and also your reflexes, because like this game requires a lot
Of Twitch reflexes.
Oh yeah, like it can get really irritating, but the final hit is like awesome. There's like several infinite clones, and you literally have to homing attack into several in a row just to reach the real one and deliver that final blow.
Oh yeah, and it's like it actually feels kind of satisfying.
Anyway, back to the getting the Phantom Ruby prototype as the avatar. It's probably one of like the most screenshot moments in the game.
Oh yeah.
And then Tails and Classic Sonic follows the avatar back to the base, and it's actually got the one joke that actually kind of made me chuckle. The Generations joke.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. That actually made me chuckle, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, it was funny.
Again, sometimes Pontac and Graf know how to write good comedy.
It's just not consistent.
Anyway, like, we then have, I think, Sonic going to find out why Shadow's working for Eggman, and we get the return of the kick to the head.
Oh yeah, and that's just
satisfying.
That's just iconic.
Again.
Oh, yeah. And iconic.
Also, finally, we didn't mention this before, but Kirk Thornton has finally nailed down his Shadow voice, and it sounds like Shadow.
Yeah, and it sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, like, Kirk, you took a long time, but you finally got the voice down. And then we reach what was probably my least favorite Avatar stage until I discovered one later down the line, when we go into Operation Big Wave.
Yeah.
Again, worst operation named ever, where essentially Infinite begins fucking with everyone. And by the way, somebody actually there's like a freaking a mod with like a free camera. Somebody actually moved like the camera into those like giant Infinite clones to see what it was like inside. They're made of liquid.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's like, wait a minute, then why wasn't there like perfect chaos illusions running around?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if Infinite's a waterbender.
Although granted, song's pretty good. Oh yeah, like most of the vocal tracks, save for maybe one or two, were really good. I think my least favorite track is actually the one from Aqua Road. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one Avatar vocal track I don't like.
To be honest, my absolute favorite one is one we'll be getting to much later.
Even though granted, that level sucks, but again, we will
Yeah.
get to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, we get the Avatar fight against Infinite, which, by the way, if the theory with like Infinite and Avatar had been like a true, like, this boss fight could have been really emotional.
Oh yeah.
But sadly, it's not true. It's I wish it had been, but anyway. A weird thing with like the cube, the hammer, or the whip, the boss fight is piss easy.
Yeah, and it's like I'd say the boss is tricky but manageable with the other Wispons.
Except for Hover and Void.
Yeah, which those are typically worthless against bosses anyway.
Yeah, like, I don't know why anybody would use those in a boss fight, but anyway, like...
But again, with any of those others, again, the bosses... about moderately difficult, but definitely doable.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, by the way, we finally learn what the Phantom Ruby can actually do. It doesn't warp time. It effectively causes augmented reality.
Yeah.
Which sometimes it's a bit inconsistent, fuck, I don't know how to describe it. Sakia, help me out. You got any idea how to describe it?
Oh, the augmented reality thing?
Yeah.
Well, going back to the first boss fight and the other boss fight with Thing, sometimes Infinite will put you in an augmented reality world with these little glitch cubes that can actually hurt you if you touch them.
Or sometimes cannons.
Yeah, he basically creates these illusions to basically try to hurt you with them.
Mm-hmm.
Which to me doesn't make a lot of sense, because if they're illusory, how can they actually hurt you?
Oh yeah, like augmented reality, you can only see it. You shouldn't be able to feel it. And it's the same thing with virtual reality, which is why personally I believe it's more augmented than virtual.
But again, it's like, but even again, augmented reality just means that
it's only visibly there. It's not physically there, and that's gonna lead into a problem that we will get to near the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so like...
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, fair enough. We go through this plan, which will effectively weaken the Phantom Ruby, and then we get to probably the biggest letdown in terms of levels. Null space. We literally spend like 20 seconds in this place, and it's only a double boost. That's it. There was so much potential for amazing platforming, and like at the end we do the double boost and we get
out. Here's kind of my other issue with the double boost.
Go ahead.
Even if you flub it, you don't get any kind of a punishment. You just don't go as fast.
Weirdly, something actually happens with the final boss, but I will get to that.
But still, it's like outside of the boss fights, you don't get any punishment for flubbing the double boost.
Oh yeah, by the way, we did actually skip a fight. We skipped Metal Sonic. Why do only 2 of the fake minions get boss fights?
Yeah.
Especially
when they were like...
Metal. Like, how many times have we fought Metal Sonic now?
Yeah, I mean, like, because, you know...
Another one?
Yeah, because, I mean, like, if you count Mecha Sonic from Sonic 2 as one of the incarnations of Metal Sonic...
This is like, what, the 5th one, if you count both phases of Sonic Heroes?
Yeah.
But sadly, we don't get to fight Shadow, we don't get to fight Chaos, we do get to fight Zavok, and I wish we hadn't, because I am sick of it, because I'm absolutely sick of seeing his red ass.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, it's like, doesn't he have a mad scientist to go have fun with? Anyway, back to Null Space. Weirdly, throughout the rest of the level, the vocal theme of the game plays, which, by the way, let's actually talk about that for like a second. It's not a Crush 40 track, but it's still a good track. Oh yeah. Like Fist Bump, I think that's a good one. And again, some of the lyrics could have possibly been foreshadowing the connection between the Avatar and Infinite. Sega, why did you not capitalize on the foreshadowing of 2 songs? Yeah, exactly. And again, with the implied connection, there could have been a song, like with like the Avatar. Again, assuming the theory about the vocal tracks representing the Avatar's thoughts was true, we could have had a song of like, I miss you, where did you go, da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, essentially a song of lamentation. Exactly, like, especially during, like, the Avatar versus Infinite, that would have been the perfect place for a song like that. Yeah, and again, it's like that's also kind of an inconsistent thing because again, there's always a vocal track when you're playing as the Avatar,
Although
except for
granted,
the
the
Infinite fight.
first, granted, usually the Infinite fights involve a remix of the Infinite theme, which is probably like the edgiest track that this franchise has ever produced. I'm sorry, Shadow, but it's true. Anyway, like after that, we essentially head into the finale, and okay, just a second, like okay, like essentially, Infinite decides he's gonna bring the sun down on everyone. But if Eggman can see it too, and it actually works, Eggman would be dead too. This plan has some holes.
Yeah, and again, if he sends the sun crashing into the world, that would also completely. Technically, Infinite would also be killing himself by destroying the world.
Yeah, so like, wait a minute, Eggman.
So he wouldn't be there to watch the world burn.
Somebody. One of them needs to be flicked on the forehead or given a Gibbs slap for this.
Yeah.
Anyway, this leads into probably the worst of the Avatar levels, and everyone who has played this level knows what I'm talking about. Imperial Tower.
Although, in my opinion, again, it still has the best vocal track in the game.
Oh yeah, no doubt. The song's great, but the level sucks.
I mean, like I played through the whole game as my OC Vale the cat, and like even though I can count the deaths every time Vale died on like one, maybe a couple digits on the other hand, most of Vale's deaths actually came from this stage, and most often she either died to an enemy that I couldn't see coming, or falling due to the game requiring some pretty precise jumps.
Oh yeah, like normally, like I don't like making this like a comparison, but Imperial Tower is probably I'm sorry, Sakya, but it's probably the Dark Souls of the Avatar levels. I'm sorry, I don't like making that comparison.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, granted, you also kind of brought back an old dead meme, but hey, I'm giving you shit. But actually, if there was one thing I'd compare it to, it's more like the bed of chaos from Dark Souls at certain points.
Fair enough, and
because like there are just certain jumps you have to make, and if you don't make it, you're dead.
But after that, we actually get a really good level. Which, fun fact, originally there were actually going to be little Mephiles clones floating around in the level Mortar Canyon. I don't know why they scrapped that. I would have loved to have seen Mephiles come back, and he deserves it more than fucking Zavok does.
Yeah, because I mean, Mephiles was a really good villain.
Yeah, I would have loved to have seen him come back, but granted, Sonic would probably be like, wait a second, who the fuck is this? I don't know this guy. But still, it would have been cool.
Yeah.
And after that, we get a rematch against Infinite, which is literally the Metal Sonic fight reskinned.
Yeah, and that felt a little lazy. And hey, why are you apologizing?
I don't know. I like this game, but at the same time, I feel bad criticizing this game because I like it so much. It's not my favorite, but
yeah, it's like it might be a mediocre game, but it's like it's definitely got its moments where it's great.
Oh yeah, but after that, Infinite just flies away, and we don't see him again. And weirdly, weirdly, what Infinite says before he zooms off still confuses me. No, wait, I can still fight. Infinite, who are you talking to?
Yeah, and it's like, if you can still fight, then why are you running away?
Well, then again, there is my theory that Mephiles or Solaris is possibly involved, and that like he was actually calling the calling like the Phantom Ruby back, and sadly just dragged Infinite along.
Fair.
But sadly, that has yet to be explained, and there hasn't been any DLC since Episode Shadow and the Sanic t-shirts.
Yeah, it's like most of the DLC has just been outfit DLC. Well,
there was
and
also
the Supersonic
Supersonic
DLC.
but that was like that should have been there from the start. And don't worry, guys, we're gonna get to that. Anyway, after this, we get the classic Sonic level, and okay, who the fuck thought auto-scrolling was a good idea for this level, given the precise platforming?
Who thought auto-scrolling in Sonic was a good idea, period?
Oh yeah, like, again, plus like, again, this level has very precise platforming. Like, if you fuck up, like, I can't tell you, the auto-scrolling sections, I kept fucking up because of the precise platforming.
But it's like, all I gotta say is with all the precise platforming, it does make me thankful for the fact the game kind of scrapped the live system.
Yeah, because, like, so many people would have rage quit from so many game overs if this had...
Oh,
if
yeah.
the live system had been here.
Yeah, because, like, pretty much all that happens when you die is just you see the screen saying try again, and then pretty much the only punishment you get for dying is that you just losing all your rings, and you lose some points from your final score.
Yeah, but that's it. Anyway, after this, we get the final tag team level, and it's actually kind of a fun one. Granted, it's super short. I don't know why so many of the levels are so short in this game.
Yeah.
But anyway, after this, it's final boss time, and okay, this is something. Okay, this is absolutely something I like have to say. Based from like a piece of like concept art involving Infinite, it looked like we were gonna possibly have like a supersonic boss fight against an overclocked Infinite to like possibly the Phantom Ruby powers becoming like too much, and it literally corrupts and takes over. That could have been a good idea for a real final boss, not this big giant multi-armed metal snake alien reference.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it's a 3-phase fight, but the final phase, it's literally the Nega Wisp armor again. Sega. The boss was great the first time, but this is the third time. Stop it.
Yeah. Again, it's like, guys, did you take notes out of From Software's playbook for Dark Souls 1?
And actually, after this fight, the game just ends with this cheesy-ass speech about taking care of the world. It's like, wait a minute, when did this become an environmental game?
Yeah, it's like, wasn't this game about taking the planet back from Eggman?
Also, like, classic Sonic leaves, thank God, and his pose actually leads to Sonic Mania Adventures, which was a good series, and we might review that later if you guys want us to, but not right now.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, we still have a few bonus reviews to go through before we even worry about that.
Yep, anyway, like, the credits roll, and actually, I kind of like Light of Hope. Like, I'm generally not into slow songs, but Light of Hope is like a very beautiful, somber piece for the game to end on.
Yeah.
And then we get the post a credit scene where effectively the Avatar Spider-Man's away.
Pretty much.
And that was Sonic Forces. Okay, final thoughts. The game's worth a try, but honestly, guys, stop hating it. It is not that bad.
Yeah, seriously, again, like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's a 2 or a 3. It's like, no, that's just unfair. Give it like a 5 point. I'd take a 5.5 or a 6. Like, it's worth playing through. Yeah, it's like, it's certainly not good, but
it's not this awful blight on the Sonic franchise that 06 and Rise of Lyric were. Or even Lost World. Lost World is worse than this.
3D Blast was worse than this.
Yep. Anyway, guys, I think, thanks to actually a friend of mine, that there's actually one more main game we actually have to cover, and then we're done with the main games until the next one comes out, and that is Team Sonic Racing, which I did actually show you the cutscenes for that, Sakuya, so I think you're good.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, guys, we're going to work on a few bonus reviews before we cover Team Sonic Racing, because I'd honestly like to give Sakia a chance to actually play the game before we review it.
Yeah.
And so the next review is going to be the first of our 5, maybe 6 bonus reviews. I'm Melantar VA.
And I am Sakia Amano.
And seriously, stop hating forces.